So I've spoken about this before, why some people have social anxiety. This is not why everyone who has social anxiety has social anxiety. There are different reasons, but there's one reason why certain kinds of people have social anxiety, and it's not what you normally think. It's actually because these are highly sensitive people who actually feel like empathetically, energetically are picking up on what's going on around them. And therefore, being in a social setting is really draining. The way that I described it once is that it's like being in a room with 100 different radios that are each tuned to a different channel and they're all playing full blast. That's what it feels like to a highly sensitive person or a certain type of highly sensitive person when they're in a room full of people. So there's this huge price to be paid just for going out and about and being among people, just being in a crowd of people. You come back home and you feel completely wiped, just like, you feel like you ran a marathon. And it's just from the exhaustion of having that much human energy around you and the stimuli just that you're picking up on. It's processing it all, just processing all that stimuli. Now, if you're looking at me like I'm crazy right now, like, what are you talking about? Okay, yeah, most people don't have this experience. Most people don't feel like that when they're among people, but there are a bunch of us who do feel like that. And I'm just explaining sometimes the social anxiety. It's not that like, oh, I'm nervous how people are going to judge me, or I don't know if I'll have anything interesting to say. It's more like, okay, I'm going into the battle zone. I'm going out among people and I know I'm going to come home. And from going to one wedding, I'm going to come home and I'm going to literally need to sleep for 2 weeks. Like I'm going to be in bed like I just got hit with a massive flu, okay, because I spent 5 hours at a wedding, okay? Now, one thing to do about that is if you realize you're such a person is to start to prioritize and strategize. So don't stay for the full 5 hours of the wedding. Figure out where to show your face and wish the bride and the groom well, and mazel tov, and be in a picture or two, and know how to know your limits and bow out and not to overextend yourself. So that's one thing. Another thing, it's a little bit of a separate issue, but it's related, is the small talk thing. So a lot of highly sensitive people are also very deep, meaning more inwardly directed and gravitate toward like substance, depth, ideas. And when people are coming over to you and like saying a bunch of stuff that's really not practically important, like, so what do you think about the weather? I don't know. Is my opinion about the weather going to change? And what time did you get in? Like 11:15 on Delta. Does it make a difference? Like, does that make any practical difference? Did you catch the game last night? The game's over. Like what difference does it make, right? So now a lot of people think that's like obnoxious. Oh, you're so arrogant. You're better than us. You think you're so good. You don't have to talk about the weather in the baseball game with us. No, it's not that I'm better than you, but for sure I'm not better. It's that having to do the mental processing. See, this is counterintuitive. You want to talk to me about some deep concept. You want to talk to me about philosophy. I'm actually in my comfort zone, no problem. But you want to ask me about like little, minutia, the tedium of like mundane life. It's like I could do it, but the processing that the computer is required to do is just, it's exhausting, right? And then the whole time, not only you have to do the mental processing, but like you have to have a smile, you have to give eye contact. It's like, oh my gosh. So that's why a lot of us have what people would call social anxiety, because it's an aversion to being out and about among large groups of people, because it's just this draining experience. When you realize that about yourself, what you can do is you can start to make decisions like, because most people really do value when you show up at their party or at their happy occasion. So you can make that decision. Okay, this is an investment. I'm going to show up. It's going to be really hard for me. It is going to knock me out, but this is what I do for my friends. And you make your appearance, and also by the same token, you understand I'm going to leave in 30 minutes. I can't stay all night. It's not going to be good for me or for them, because you're going to overstay your threshold, and then you're going to end up being grumpy, and you find out a year later someone's going to say you snubbed them. I didn't even know I snubbed them, because you were like so exhausted, you were staring off into space, and someone called your name 3 times, and they think you ignored them. Okay, so if you're sensitive like that, yeah, just know that that's what it is. If you don't relate to any of this, that's fine. You're probably not still listening to this. But if you are still listening to this, then you probably are this way, or you have a spouse or a child who's this way. So now you know. Hi there. I hope you're enjoying this. If the videos that we're creating have enriched your life in any way, I would like to ask you to please consider partnering with us to create more content to help change more lives. There's a link above, as well as in the comment section, to our annual campaign. We're raising our annual budget. If you would consider partnering with us at any amount, even $1, it makes you a partner in what we do in changing lives. Thank you so much.